Hi everyone, this is Killshot99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 14 review, early spoiler reveal. We are going to talk spoilers. We've only got 2 episodes left because, as you guys know, the season finale has been pushed back. So 14 and 15. 15 is usually where all the magic happens. 14, I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I've read the spoilers multiple times. I am not blown away by it. Hopefully my expectations have been let down. Just a little bit, and then we can have a big, maybe it'll be a big surprise. But from what I read, I don't love it, but we'll see. When I read through and I kind of articulate it to everybody, then I'll get kind of your thoughts on the spoilers, and don't get too far ahead of it. So we're going to, before we get too far into it, I do want to shout out our Patreon Army. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. You can see them up there on the screen. Also, my Play Dead Live sponsors. The PDL survival packs are going to be going out likely Monday or Tuesday. So if you guys are a Play Dead Live sponsor, then you're going to be getting your survival packs very, very soon. Take some pictures of it. Let everybody know what's up. So also, can I give a shout out to Valar? Valar, thank you so much. Valar, super chatting it up to everybody here. Hello, 99 Army Kills, Great Mods, channel members, patrons, PDL players, sponsors, super chatters, super stickers. And we had a great time last night. If you guys don't know what PDL is all about, join us tomorrow night at 9 o'clock and hang out and see what is in store. So we've got, all right, you guys ready to do a little bit of spoilers? So if you don't love it, don't hate me. I will ask you for a score at the end of it. So here's what it's all about. And how many people have not heard the spoilers yet? Just kind of curious. How many people know nothing about this week's episode, and this is brand new information? And by the way, this information is provided to you, Spoiling Dead's fan page. So the people over at Spoiling Dead's fan page post it, and we use it as a confirmation of our prediction. So here we go. So the first question that they ask is, are the groups still separated? So this episode is apparently only about Hilltop. It's only about Hilltop. And, of course, Beta. So the next question is, does anyone learn about Michonne leaving to find Rick? If no, what are their reactions? So nobody knows. How do you guys feel about that? Like, when the show has this major news and they always keep it, like, confidential. I mean, can you guys help me with this? Is there a reason for Judith not to tell them about Rick? I mean, other than it just creates a little bit more suspense for us. I mean, why wouldn't Judith just go, walk out and say, hey, just want to let you guys know, Mom's looking for Dad. Huh? What? What's this all about? I would think that would be the reaction, but instead it's like, hey, could you see Daryl walking up? Hey, Judith, where's Michonne? I don't know. She must still be on the island. I just don't see it. It's very cliche. It's played out a lot. But I would rather them just tell them. Give them something to get excited about. Don't you think that the group could use a little bit of excitement? Like when we find out about it, I would be excited. I would tell someone. But they're not. So question number 3. Is Carol dreaming or hallucinating when she sees Alpha in the woods? So Carol is losing it. This season has been about some creepy stuff. I mean, last week we had Michonne doing flashbacks. We've had Carol already seeing things multiple times throughout her life. So apparently this episode is chock full of Carol and the Alpha head talking to her and a lot of the, just some weird stuff. So it does look like Carol's having a conversation with herself, they say, and it continues throughout the episode until she resolves it. Alpha apparently just taunts her all through the episode about her life. The heavy breathing and, you should have saw the blonde boy call your name just before we took his head. So there's going to be like a lot of that creepy Alpha voice all throughout. So you guys thought you were done with me and my Alpha impersonations? Nope. You get it for a couple more weeks. So we get, why is Carol alone in the woods in the first place? Okay, here again, this is why I think some people don't love this week's episode. Because, one, it's got that Judith doesn't tell anybody thing. But then number 2, Carol cut a deal with Negan. So this to me seems just a little suspect. So she told Negan that she needs to be alone. Okay, this isn't the cut the deal part. I'll get to that in a minute. So Carol's alone in the woods. She tells Negan she needs to be alone. And there's like something up on a shelf. I didn't really get all this. It says a boat, apparently. She's trying to get it off a shelf, and it falls, and the roof of the cabin collapses with it, trapping her underneath. The walker starts coming in, frees her, and she kills it. This gets Alpha to disappear. Yeah, see, I don't get that. I need to see this play out because that part didn't make a whole lot of sense, and I read it multiple times. So Carol gets trapped. A walker comes after. She's been taunted. She kills the walker, and then Alpha's officially gone. All right. Next part. What is the deal made between Carol and Negan? Does she keep her word? So Carol had told Negan, if you kill Alpha, she'll make the people remember him for that and not the other stuff. But not exactly, because she leaves to be on her own, and then Negan gets called. Okay, so here's my problem with this week's episode 2. So we get the reveal that it was officially Carol who let Negan out. Negan agrees to kill Alpha, in turn, to be forgived of his past transgressions. But she doesn't appear to be in any sense of urgency in doing that. So let me know what you guys think with that. One, you kind of feel how you feel. Whether you think that she needs to be, whether you think Negan needs to be redeemed or forgiven or any of those things, kind of leave your thoughts and comments to that. But isn't it kind of like a slap in the face once he did all the work that she doesn't seem to make that a priority? Fluff the Flamethrower. What's up, Big Fluff? We got, I would say RJ spills the beans about Michonne, but he's not even real. No. Come on, Fluff. Come on. You know how much trouble I got into that whole ordeal. But yeah. We did get some RJ. We had some dialogue last week. Hopefully we see a little bit more of RJ. Maybe he's the future. Ocean Man. What's up, Kills and Army? Ocean Man in the house. Getting ready for tomorrow night, Ocean Man. Need you guys to come through big with some Play Dead Live. Yeah, I'm trying to like it, but the fact that they pushed the fact that they pushed the finale back, in my history at The Walking Dead, that 13, 14 is usually where they're weak because they got something big in 15. So I'm already mentally prepared not to love it. And then when I read it, it just kind of confirmed most of that. So Carol's crazy. She's being haunted. She makes a deal with Negan, and then she leaves Negan out there, which causes a whole world of problems with him and Daryl still. Does someone say, look at the flowers in this episode? If so, who? That is the most random question in the world, right? Just out of the blue. I love the way the question's asked. And look, I'm not picking on Spoiling Dead's fan page, but it would be like, that's so deliberate and so direct. It'd be like saying, does Ezekiel have on a red shoe in this episode? And if so, which foot is it on? Why, yes, Ezekiel does have a red shoe. Thank you for asking. I mean, we know this is an iconic line, but just the way the question is kind of funny to me. Does someone say, look at the flowers? And who? All right, well, it's Alpha. But it is a hallucination, and it's Alpha to Carol as she's trapped under the debris and a walker is approaching. So when Carol gets trapped, that's when it all goes down. And here's the way it goes down. So Christmas Girl said, just want to say everyone stay safe and healthy. Thank you so much, Christmas Girl. Okay. It is the name of the episode. Fair enough. But it is a walker coming at Carol. Carol had to leave Negan to go in this cabin. Something falls on her, and then something's approaching that's, in theory, going to kill her. So you need like some eerie music in the background and the walker approaching, and you know the walker's not going to kill her. It's Carol. She reaches up and you hear bam, 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 bam. And then, just look at the flowers. I mean, there you go. Sorry. And then she's probably going to say it over and over again. I don't know. And then Carol's just going to come to her senses all of a sudden and kill the walker, and then Alpha disappears. All right. We've got next question. What's going on with Lydia? Does she know Alpha's dead? Nope, Lydia's not in this episode. Number 8, what happens with Negan and Daryl? All right, this looks like this could be kind of funny. This might be the part I'm looking forward to. So Negan goes to the other cabin to get Lydia, but instead, Lydia's not there. He finds Daryl. That's probably what you don't want to find. You're Negan, you're looking for Lydia, and your worst nightmare is Daryl with a crossbow. So he takes him to where the spikes are. So, it's probably going to go down like, hey, what are you doing here? Let me explain. Hold on. I did this deal, and I killed Alpha, and we got her head on a spike. I don't believe you, son bitch. All right, I'm going to take you. Come over. And then they go over to the spikes, and guess what? Well, of course the head's not there. Beta has already taken it. So Negan's in a tough spot because, and Daryl is probably not very trustworthy because Aaron did the same thing, right? So we're playing this through all over again. Aaron basically told Daryl, come with me. I'm going to show you where Gamma has told me where all the walkers are. And then Daryl gets all the way there with Aaron. And what does he say? Hey, we ain't got no time for this shit. And then he leaves. So, and then they get the whole, they get trapped in the cave. But now, instead of Daryl just putting a crossbow bolt through his head, he's going to let Negan walk him to the spikes where Alpha's head is not there. But we do get some things that go down. So Negan's trying to convince Daryl's good intentions. And when they do that, you can get just some Negan kind of pandering. Some whispers arrive with guns and say they are here to kneel to the new Alpha. And Negan thinks it's funny, and then apparently he kills him. Yeah. And this is what I said. I think the episode is a little bit choppy in that regard. That I guess they're there to worship Negan, and instead Daryl's there. So, yeah, just kill him. Kill a couple more of them. So we got this question. Do Daryl and Carol interact in this episode? So once, apparently, after freeing herself from the debris at the cabin, Daryl comes back to Hilltop. Daryl lets her in. They don't speak to each other. I mean, he could at least said something, right? I mean, she just got a shelf dropped on her. She's been through hell. I know many of you might not like it, but I mean, say something. Hey, you look like you had a shelf fall on top of you. I don't know. I don't know what he can say, but why even interact with each other if they're not even going to say anything? I don't know. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to really get into the gist of this week. I got to be honest with you guys. All right, so, and again, here's another one. Number 10, why do Yumiko and Ezekiel decide to join Eugene on the journey? You know what? Maybe, and again, I don't mean this out of a disrespectful fashion, because I love what they do at Spoiling Dead's fan page and Firefly and Ninja Pancake. But maybe it's the way they worded the questions this week that is throwing me off with the spoilers. Do you guys agree with that? You think it's just the spoilers, there's not a lot to offer? Or do you think it's the way the questions are? Like, if we just see Eugene and Yumiko and Ezekiel and they're walking, we probably don't stop and question why they're with them. But the fact that they asked the question makes me say, okay, we got a point. Why are we asking that question? So, but the answer is, well, the question again is, why do Yumiko and Ezekiel decide to join? And the answer is no specific reason. Okay. Then why ask the question if there's no specific reason? You drive me nuts this week. All right, number 11. What happens during Yumiko, Ezekiel, and Eugene's journey? Do they make it? So Ezekiel's not feeling well, obviously. Oh, boy. I didn't read through all of this. All right, so he decides to go on the journey, and he's not feeling well. And now we're going to get, oh, woe is me, Ezekiel that wants to die. So, yes. So he's not feeling well. He feels like giving up. His horse dies. Wow, this is like a country song. And then he says, maybe I'm not strong enough to make the journey. But Yumiko builds him up and says, we need you, man. We need the man who built the kingdom. You can do it. And then he gets that last little bit of adrenaline and stamina, and he decides that he can just go on. A few choice words from Yumi makes all the difference in the world. I mean, just a scene ago, he was ready to give up, but now he's inspired. So, do they meet the princess? Yes, they do. She's in a weird place where everyone is either tied up or handcuffed. And this is where they see Police Walker. Do we learn of Connie's fate? Nope. Okay, let's get to the beta stuff. It's funny because they say that beta is about 1/3 of the episode, but when they describe beta's interaction, we get like 5 sentences. So they said, what's beta's reaction to Alpha's death? And then they say, well, beta actually takes up about 1/3 of the episode. And he has some sort of secret hideout where there's a bed, a guitar, a record player, and he's a country singer. He brings Alpha's head in there in a sack. This is weird, too. Yeah, this is going to be a creepy episode. Bug. This got depressing and then optimistic real quick. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest with you, Bug. He brings Alpha's head in there in a sack, and he has a fit of rage, smashing his guitar. Oh, this is going to be like The Wall. It's going to be like Pink Floyd, One of My Turns, right? Kind of. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I get a feeling it's going to be, you know how they go like, day after day, love turns gray, like the skin on the dying man, and night after night, and then, where it ramps up. And he picks up the guitar and starts smashing the guitar. I think that's what we're going to get. I think this is going to be like a knockoff from The Wall, where Beta just starts trashing stuff. I don't know. It might not be that good, but I'm hopeful. Run through the bedroom in the suitcase on the left. You'll find my, where he starts. Okay. Anyway, if you haven't seen it, check it out. But yeah, I think he's going to start freaking out. He misses Alpha. All this emotion hits him at one time. But then he puts on a live recording of his, and he goes onto the balcony to see hundreds of walkers gathering outside. Afterwards, he thanks Alpha's head and drives a blade into it, goes out the front door, straight into the walkers, and starts leading them. Okay, now this part sounds better. So he's there. We get the country music thing, and then he says, thank you for everything that you've done, Alpha. Kills her, and then he puts on his music, and he walks out there, and now he's got like a brand new army of Guardians. This part I do like. So, says we see, here's another one of those questions. We see Beta walking with a guy in a red shirt in the promo pictures. Who is he and what happens to him? He's just a random whisperer. So there's nothing to it. But he makes a mistake of telling Beta that he's the new Alpha. So Beta has Alpha's head bite this guy's ear off and then has him killed by walkers. Yeah, that's kind of, here. Just gonna let Alpha's head bite your ear off. And how does the episode end? The episode ends with the whole Beta thing. And this is probably the most disconcerting thing of all of it, of the people asking the questions and the spoilers. Question 17. Anything else interesting? And here's the way they answer his question. I'm going to have to say no. Okay. This was a bit of an uneventful episode, but still a good one. All right. This is my favorite question of all of them. We just like to ask you, anything else interesting? I'm going to have to say no. All right. Well, that doesn't really inspire me for this week's episode. And hey, I told you guys, it may be that they're letting our guard down. They're lowering the bar. And when you see it, it may be a better episode than we think. Based on that spoiler information, I'm gonna give it the lowest score of any Angela Kang episode so far. And I've absolutely loved everything. Now, I can change my mind, right? But based on that, it sounds like it sounds like it's not good. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope we're here Sunday night and it's like, man, no spoilers. They were totally wrong. This was a great episode. Ben, I'm going to come in at about, well, you know what? I'm going to ask you guys. Based on what I just read from the spoilers, what do you guys think about this week? Give me a number from 1 to 10. We got Ocean Man. When do you think we'll find out Connie's fate? I don't know. Ocean Man, they were very concerned, and they asked, I think we're going to find out Connie's fate in episode 16, which we're not going to find for a long time. So, Busy Bee says a 5, 6, 7. Seven to 8. I'm going to say 6. It sounds like a 6 to me. I feel like, Angela Kang was probably on vacation when they did this one. Things are probably going so well. It's like, you know what, guys, I need a break. Let me take a couple weeks off. You guys got this, right? And she comes back and it's like, what in the actual hell did you guys write? This is not the way I planned it. And then she got to come in and save the show again. But no, in all seriousness, it sounds it doesn't sound congruent at all. Like, that's the one thing I really do love about, since she's taken over the show. It has a feel to it like she ties most of the loose ends and she does it in a good way. But it just doesn't seem like this ties anything together. Like, there's more of the kind of cliche stuff. Christmas Girl. Judith No Alpha's dead during convo with Michonne. Yes. Yeah, and I guess word traveled pretty quick with that, because she did tell Michonne, right? Like, Alpha can't hurt us anymore. But that was a little bit, how did that conversation come about? Casey Higgins, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support. And those of you that are tuning in live, thank you for being here live. I know, many people, we stream at different times. Some of you guys are gamers. You catch our Play Dead live. Some only tune in for The Walking Dead. But, regardless of what we talk about, always absolute pleasure hanging out with you guys and discussing whether we do trivia, whether we do Walking Dead. We love doing it live. Gina Crockett, I've got a better question. When are we going to see Kel's video? Oh, that is a good question. By the way, if you guys don't know, one of our moderators, Kel, made a side bet several months ago. She was emphatic that Michonne was going to die. She was literally the only person on Earth that thought Michonne was going to die, because everybody else in population said that she's leaving the show. And Kel was so confident that she said she would lip sync or karaoke or do a song. So yes, we are waiting for that to play out as well. So if you guys want to see that, check out our Facebook fan page. I'm sure an upload will be coming in the very near future. The thing about The Walking Dead, and not everybody gets this when they watch the playback, because, I hate to say it, but a good portion of the world is extremely sensitive and take things literally. Look, I'm not a big joker or big prankster, but anyone that has watched our channel for 5 years plus knows I love The Walking Dead. I have the utmost respect for all the writers. Even Fear the Walking Dead, I watch it every year. I complain about it. I don't bash it, but I there's things I wish were better. But I always look at the show from the perspective of a fan, and I'm always going to be a fan. So, sometimes people tune in and they skip the video and they catch like a segment right in the middle, and they don't get the full context of what we talk about. So I certainly feel comfortable giving this a 6. It doesn't change my love for and respect for everything that the people on the show do. I have the utmost respect for them. But, some episodes, not every episode is a 10. Most have been really, really good. But I hope I'm wrong. And I hope that the spoilers were just a little bit kind of short and sarcastic. And maybe there's some things that are going to go down that were not fully portrayed in the spoilers. It's happened before. Right? I agree. Bennett, that you can't always hit a home run. And that's the bad part, is this is usually the episode. No, I don't think it's filler. Filler's a very... When I think filler, I think slightly less than transition. I don't think this is filler because it is certainly important to the it's important to the flow of the story. And the transition of the story, right? I mean, we got to get Eugene to the princess. We've got to... Now, why is Ezekiel there? Why is Yumiko there? Well, keep in mind, Yumiko just broke up, so she's got nothing better to do. Ezekiel is sick. He's got nothing better to do. There's no doctors. So if I had to answer the question, I'll answer it for him. I mean, maybe they don't specifically tell us, but I'll go back and reread it, and I'll give you my own perspective. First, we got Will the Bill. Kel, if you need help getting through it, I'll help. I make a fool of myself often. Oh, he didn't say often. I did that part. But I do look forward to the video. All right, so let me kind of answer this question. Question number 10. Why do we see Yumiko and Ezekiel, and why do Yumiko and Ezekiel decide to join Eugene on his journey to meet Stephanie? Well, because Yumiko just split up with Magna, and she's looking for a new adventure. Ezekiel is sick, and he needs to find a good doctor, so he decides to go along. See, I think that's rationale. But the problem is Ezekiel, he's lost his fight. He's lost his energy. Moonshot. Kills if Daryl let Carol in at Alexandria, is Negan there too? No, apparently Negan is out in the woods somewhere. Well, I don't know. I have no idea what Daryl did with Negan. That's a great question. The only thing I could think, Moonshot, is that the Negan-Daryl scene probably happens after the Carol scene. So the way I see it playing out, Carol gets trapped in the cabin. You need to look at the flowers. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying here. And then Carol gets free. Meanwhile, Negan is looking for Lydia. Carol comes back. Then Daryl leaves, and then Daryl runs into Negan. Maybe it happens like that, or I don't. If that's not the way it goes down, Moonshot, then I don't know. Then I don't know what Negan would do with Daryl at the end. Or I'm sorry, Daryl do with Negan at the end. Amanda Goss, this may be a stupid question, but I haven't read the comics. Is the princess part of the Commonwealth? Yeah, apparently she's the leader. So, we'll see. Or is she not? Or does she become the leader? Hey, I'm on like 123. So your guess is as good as mine. All right. Well, there's the answer to your question. Now, apparently, I have a lot of free time to catch up on the next 60 issues. All right. So Prince is not part of the Commonwealth. She is who our group comes across while heading to meet Stephanie. Got it. Not Michonne's daughter. Not the leader of... Gabe just chimed in and said neither is correct. So there you go. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys kind of clarifying. Cynthia, we did some. I mean, I actually have videos of the first 100 and I think we're on 123. It's up there. But I've not gotten into the Whisperer War yet. I'm getting close, though. Yeah, you guys heard Gabe, right? Gabe is loud, man. When he wants to be heard, my little man. All right, hey, we're 30 minutes in. I'm going to open it up. Any additional questions regarding the spoilers? So not popular in the comics. So let me ask you guys this question. Are you excited about the transition to next season? Are you excited about this journey to meet and run into the princess, or this journey to meet Stephanie, or the future of the Commonwealth? So, and the reason I ask this question is because many of you, like me, are not that far in the comics, and there's a lot of confusion, right? Like, I think most everybody had heard enough about the Saviors. So you saw Negan and you pretty much know what to expect. But now you've got like all these new characters. And Hippo, it's a good point. Does it give them more leeway to deviate toward more original content? Ben, it's a good point. Ben says, I'm honestly excited that we're nearing passing the comics to now having no idea what can happen. So let me play the devil's advocate with that, though, Ben. And I need you guys to think about this before answering. Because we have this concept that, and I mean this in a very loving way, we have this concept that The Walking Dead is good and fear can sometimes be trash. But the one thing you have to remember is The Walking Dead has always had a roadmap. So, could The Walking Dead, without a roadmap, start to branch into Fear the Walking Dead territory where it's not as good? I hate to say it that way, but I think it's a fair question. Ocean Man, I'm excited because we're getting to the point we're past the comics and all new content. See, we say that, right? Fear the Walking Dead was all new content. Christmas Girl, what about Maggie? It's a good point. I think Maggie shows up in 16, but now we might get pushed back a little bit further. You know, I don't... So, Newfield says not with Kang in the driver's seat. And I got to tell you, Crystal, I'm as big a fan as Angela Kang as anybody. But how much more story can you tell if you don't have that guide? You can't bring back Whispers again. You can't bring back Cannibals again. You can't bring back Negan again. So you're almost at a point now where I feel like, well, how many people feel like that when The Walking Dead transitions to the next arc, it's going to be a little less horror and it's going to start to tread on sci-fi a little bit? That when you get to the Commonwealth, it's going to be a little bit more action, science fiction, that type of vibe. That's true, Crystal, but those people must not work for Fear the Walking Dead. And that's my fear. You've got 3 different series going at one time, can all be original. I mean, I think they're good points. And I love the passion and I love the faith, but I just want to, take a step back. I'm not trying to create a negative connotation, or I'm not trying to get you guys to think about it one way or the other. I just think it's a fair question to say that one of the things that we've sort of liked about the show is that we had an idea of where it was heading, and we get excited when we see those arcs. Now, look, sometimes they play it too long. Maybe the Whisper War's gone a little bit longer, maybe some of those arcs, but knowing what's happening sort of gets you ramped up. And not knowing what'll happen will get you rammed up a little bit too. Ben the Tin Man, in the same way they had the comics to follow, they may now be tied to following arcs to meet up with the movie plots. That's not a bad point, but you still have to have the movie plot. And that's assuming the movie plot's going to be good. Is the movie plot going to be good, or is it going to be that we want to watch the movie because we want to see Rick Grimes? Christmas Girl, can we discuss the group Michonne saw at the end? See, that's where I think it's going to get confusing. Especially to the people that aren't that far in the comics. And if they change the comics. So, would the assumption be that group that Michonne was following at the end is leading them to Commonwealth, because that was a big group of people. And how did all those people get on that island? It's not like it's a peninsula. I mean, it's an island. Well, actually, maybe not. Maybe because they did take the boat. All right, let me backtrack on that. They left the island in the boat. So, yeah, it probably was an island. It probably was wherever they took the ship to. So somewhere between New Jersey and Virginia. Well, that narrows it down, right? Kind of gives you Maryland. The Walking Dead has been cruising down the highway for years, a few years on their exit ramp led to fear. Our show kept going down the highway. No, they've come upon a roundabout, the movies, and new. Well, Virgil stayed. He was like waiting. Well, but I think, see, all of this is kind of making the point that we're talking about is now you've got like multiple different stories happening. Michonne's not on the show, but I mean, still, I guess they leave it there because that's where we're going to pick up in the movie. And is the movie might not just be Rick Grimes' movie as we thought. Maybe they pick up with the Michonne where they're at right now as well. Unless we get a little bit of a backstory. I don't know. I'm confused by everything that's going down right now. And this episode this week's not helping me. No, Gemstone, no confirmation that Michonne's going to be in the movie, but they didn't kill her. So that to me just seems like it would be a hell of a way to leave it. I mean, of course she's going to be in the movies. You can't just leave her with two people catching up to a group, and then in the rest of the history of the Walking Dead world, we never know what's going to happen with Michonne. Believe me, look, if they can go back and tell us the Beta's a country music star and put it in Fear, and then he kills somebody, and then he plays his own song, if they can do all that for Beta's country music career, then I'm certain that they're going to tell us the Michonne story. Crystal, I've liked them all. I just don't know how I'm going to feel about this one. I really loved last week. But, that was met with mixed reviews. So, for example, we did the spoiler stream last week. Everybody loved it. They loved the Michonne exit. We did the reaction video. Everybody loved it. And then we had a group of people on our fan page that said, I thought it was average. I didn't like it. I still loved it. So for me, the Michonne exit, I thought it was phenomenal. I loved everything about it. I didn't need it to be high energy or action. I like that they told the story with Rick. I like that she has something to go towards. I like that Judith encouraged her to leave for a little bit, check it out. I mean, I didn't get the impression she was leaving Judith for the rest of her life. I like the fact that Judith was comfortable with staying with Daryl for a little bit. I like Michonne facing her demons. I like that Virgil probably going through a little bit of what Michonne. I mean, there's so many things that I loved, but not everybody, it's not everybody's thing. Well, it's a great question, but not everybody loves gaming. So Christmas Girl, I think it's a good question, and I'll get to that, and Trigger, and then we'll wrap it up. Trigger says, at least we saw her leave, unlike Maggie. Well, and we saw Rick leave too, but we know she's alive. So Christmas Girl, what are the plans for everybody while we wait for the finale? So we don't have the new series, but a little known fact, some of you only show up for Walking Dead, which is great. I appreciate you guys being here. But we do things besides Walking Dead. And I always have a blast hanging out with you guys. If I didn't, we would only do Walking Dead. We wouldn't do all the other things that we do. So I just think this group is an incredible group. It's great people. And anytime I get the opportunity to do a live stream, whether it's trivia night, whether it's random things, whether it's Friday night, we used to do Freestyle Friday, or we created a social role-playing game that we tell and shape and combine our own story. And it's not just gaming. See, Christmas Girl, here's the thing. I think a lot of people, they hear me talk about like our role-playing game and they think that it's fast-paced and you're with a joystick or anything. It's like a role-playing chess match. So you have time to interact. So what I'd say is go back and watch some of the playback and check out the speed and see if it's something that that you like the story. But that's my plan. I know we all have varying degrees of challenges right now, but my commitment is that we're going to stream. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to do a bunch of clickbait videos on The Walking Dead and just make up a bunch of crap. And because there's enough of that already out there, I would rather get together with a group and talk about trivia or our favorite songs or movies or movie lines or Play Dead Live, Freestyle Friday, random things, anything, rather than just make up a bunch of stuff about The Walking Dead and kind of just trash our reputation. We got Ocean Man. My plans for the finale, since it's delayed, is to play Dead Live. And I agree. I will kind of have to be here for that, right? Appreciate that, Ocean Man. And thank you. You guys are great. Love the support. Absolutely love support. Well, Dead Shred says bring back Freestyle Fridays. You guys would be surprised, I think, how much of the freestyle activity ends up in our other videos. For example, we do pack openings on Saturday. And our hardcore gamers are popping in, popping out in those pack openings. There's a lot more to those pack openings than just talking about cards. Just a lot of social interaction. So, you guys know where to find us. You know where to catch us. We're streaming almost every day. I think we've probably had 4 days since January 1st that we've not had a stream that day, maybe 5, either 4 or 5 days. So almost every single day we have a topic or something that we're talking about. I'm leaving that one alone, Johnny. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Alice. Alice says, I don't play the game, but watched the pack openings this past weekend and enjoyed it, even though I didn't know what was happening. The thing I would ask you guys is pop in 15 or 20 minutes tomorrow night, and you'll understand. We created a universe. We have characters. You guys play those characters. We shape that universe every single week. It's a combination. If I had to describe it, it's a combination of The Walking Dead, Magic the Gathering, World of Warcraft, UFC. It's got so many elements of any type of game or TV show. And you just never know what's going to happen. You guys completely change the story. There's a roadmap, but we never stick to the roadmap. So with that, everybody, hey, we are 51 minutes in, and I'll be here tomorrow night, and we're going to be doing a level up event on Saturday and Sunday. We'll be back talking about The Walking Dead, Dungeons & Dragons. Yeah, a little bit of everything. So if it's not your thing, I get it. I kind of made my case. I'd love to have you guys here. I'd love to have you guys hang out with us. You never know what's going to be said or what we're going to do. But, if all you can give us is The Walking Dead, I'll still love you and respect you and look forward to seeing you guys at all The Walking Dead. There is not. We have a lot of people that do pay to play the game and to get better items and to advance, but no, there is no cost to play. You can show up on a Friday night and go through some of the scenarios. You'll get gear. You're starting a little later. It's going to take you a little while to sort of get the hang of it or to get up to certain levels, but it's not impossible. So with that being said, everybody, thank you so much for everything that you guys do. I got a lot of work to do between now and tomorrow night. Hopefully I'll see some of the new players tomorrow night. Join us at 9 o'clock. If not, hang out with us. We'll be streaming 8 to 10 hours over the weekend. And then, of course, our reaction video. Let's all be here for the reaction video, and let's see if the spoilers were actually true or if the episode is going to be a little bit better than everybody thought. Thanks again. Appreciate you guys. Stay safe, and see you tomorrow night. Peace.